If you need your badges grinded, and trust me when I say I know that it is a grind, you can go on Twitter and ask Elite Badge Grinding and they will do it for you. You just pay a small fee and your player can be maxed out immediately. Go check it out. ¿Qué pasa to the pack? It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
And in today's video we have the second blog post for NBA 2K21 on the next generation, and the blog posts have been giving out a ton of new information, and this time they were discussing gameplay itself, how the gameplay is going to work, how it's going to move, the whole engine they're going to use, and even defense. But I'm going to talk about defense in the next video, because this video I want to talk about the very specific things they're going to do with the PlayStation 5, dribbling, motion, and things of that nature. But before this video starts, be an OG, join the pack, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 300,000 subscribers, and I'm giving out a ton of news all the time. So if you want to keep on top of it, follow the channel, and you'll get all the information you need. Okay, so first things first. It is that dribbling is about to be a lot more consistent. Let me read you guys the exact excerpt and then go from there, okay? So dribble movement. The dribble was rebuilt from the ground up for next gen, and the difference is night and day. We retained the concept of signature dribble styles that we introduced a couple years ago, but otherwise everything was scrapped and re-architected, bringing a completely different feel with the ball in your hands for next gen. Additionally, protect and post movements saw massive upgrades. The aspect of dribbling movements that excites me the most is the predictability and consistency of it. It's much easier to go exactly where you want to go on the floor, and in the manner that you'd expect to get there. No unwarranted turns or having your player face the wrong way, no burst up to speed or failed cuts. It just works, and because it's built using the same engine as the Pro Stick dribble move system, movement and moves work cohesively together. Player speeds are more accurate to real life, and the sense of weight feels more realistic. It's a complete package, and I don't think I can overstate how much it's elevated my enjoyment of playing the game. The things that I thought were the most interesting in this little piece of information is, first off, that they're saying that the dribble and like the way they're using the right stick is the same as last year or this current generation, which is fine because that was really good. I just think the dribble and pro dribble and the right stick and how they used it was fantastic and clean. But I hate how slidey it is. I hate that it's inconsistent. I hate the delay, and I hate wanting to do something and it doesn't work out. What they're saying is that this is not going to be the case anymore. Being able to, if let's say you want to do a behind the back crossover towards the basket, that will not be complicated anymore, because sometimes you'll go to the left side or the right side when you wanted to go forward or left, for example. So that's going to be updated. That's going to be addressed and fixed, and that is super important for people who do dribbles and focus on handles and playmakers and shot creators, because that is going to be able to help you make a lot more better decisions on offense, and that is awesome to see. At number 2 on the list that is brand new to adding to NBA 2K21 Next Generation is foot planting. So let me read what it says. Sliding in basketball is no good, but it's something we've had to live with for the past because of limitations in technology. I'm happy to say that the next generation version of NBA 2K21 takes a huge leap in that department. Our engineers rewrote our foot planting tech from scratch and led to one of the most striking visual improvements when you compare next gen to previous generations. Players can now take procedural steps instead of sliding their feet when they need to make micro adjustments. I love seeing proper footwork as players are making hard cuts, accelerating, stopping, even just standing or making subtle movements in place. It brings 2K Hoops one more step, did you see what I did there? Closer to real life. Okay, so I kind of like what they're mentioning here, but this is the best part. I hate sliding in basketball games. Listen, sliding is the worst part. I do not want to feel like I'm on ice skates all the times when I'm playing the game. It is so hard to play defense that way, and it's so hard to just make the correct cuts when you want to go, where you want to go at the right times. That is apparently going to change. They didn't say specifically the delay was going to be fixed, but I'm crossing my fingers that is the case. But they're saying that the cutting, the way your feet move, and the direction you move, so footwork is going to be addressed, and doing things that you want to do in specific situations is going to be a lot easier, and that is amazing. Body ups. So that's our internal name for all the interactions between the ball handler and the defender. It's always a tricky balance trying to accurately model the cat and mouse game between the offense and the defense. Our goal with body ups was to highlight the improvement that we were able to make to both dribbling and defensive movement. To that end, it meant less can interactions and doing a better job of respecting our user control. I think the next gen version of NBA 2K21 strikes a giant balance between rewarding, taking proper driving angles, and respecting contact. Attempting to drive headfirst directly into a defender will stop them in their tracks. lead to charges or forced pickups. When ball handlers get to the hip of the defender but the defender matches well, it will lead to more realistic rides that neither player will feel stuck in. And on the other extreme, slow-footed or slow-to-react defenders will be punished by blow-bys, and if they try to force the contact too late, might get hit with a blocking foul. Strong ball handlers can also hard stop out of a ride and crab defenders more effectively, so it's not always about speed when trying to probe into the paint. The logic for the types of resolutions that play out is much more robust and takes into account every little detail you can think of. The end result is better one-on-one game that more accurately mirrors the real NBA. So at number 3 is something that I am super excited about, is that you will be able to blow by bad defenders. But then if you're a good defender, people won't just be able to blow by you easily. I know clamps is a good badge, but I hated how defense worked this year. I hated that if I was a great driver, for example, how can people just pick me up for no reason? Or if I was a post scorer, how can the little guard pick me up? It doesn't make any sense. And now it's going to be more realistic to how it is in real life. It's all about matchups, and so if someone's smaller than you, you can just drive past them. If someone's stronger than you, you're gonna get the ball picking up from if you're trying to drive right through them. And I love the realisticness of that. It is so important to this game. At number 4, it is that alley-oop dunks and contact putback dunks are in the game. So one of the main beneficiaries of the new engine is that we now have contact alley-oops and putback dunks for the first time in 2K, which look sick and feel rewarding when you can pull them off. So we've had alley-oops already in the game, and we even have putback dunks. But to have posters on an alley-oop, like when DeAndre Jordan murdered Brandon Knight, that was not in the game, and that's going to be crazy for slashers and post scorers. They're going to be able to just kill defenders like that. And then on top of that, putbacks are already rare in the game. And I've always thought it'd be cool to be able to do a putback on a person that can't really rebound. It'd be sick to just be able to grab that rebound and just yam it on them at the same time. We've needed those kind of animations, and now they're going to be into the game, and that's going to be so beautiful. And they're going to make some crazy highlights with that too, guaranteed. And the final one, at number 5, is one I'm really interested in, is that the PS5 Trigger Effects are going to be put into place. So let me just read everything here. Something that's always excited us as developers is the introduction of new hardware features that come along with new consoles. When we first heard about the PlayStation 5 adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, we immediately began brainstorming ways to use to enhance the gameplay experience. Okay, so for the adapted triggers, we opted to use them to convey energy and fatigue. As you move around the court, you'll feel more resistance on the sprint trigger as your player energy drains. We also use adaptive resistance in the post game. Strong post players will feel little resistance on L2 when backing down weaker opponents, but you'll have to use a lot more force to pull left trigger when it's the other way around. It's very interesting to play with and helps immerse you into the experience of actually being on a basketball court. Not only that, as for haptic feedback, we use it to accentuate our various collision systems, box outs, body up rides, off-ball collisions, deny rides. Basically any situation where players make significant contact will vibrate the controller at various intensities depending on the strength of the players involved and the severity of the impact. So the triggers, alright, let's say we're playing and your player gets tired. It's gonna start resisting the right trigger when you're playing because you're more tired. If you're posting up a weak defender, you can post them up easy, but if it's a good defender, you're gonna have trouble pressing left trigger to post someone up. And that's gonna be so cool to see. Something that Xbox won't be able to have, but PlayStation will have it, and it's gonna be awesome. And then with the haptic feedback, let's say you get a screen on the right side of your controller is gonna vibrate, and like things like that, which are so cool. It immerses you even more into this game, and that is going to be awesome. So these are all the new things that they're adding into NBA 2K21 based off of blog number 2 for the gameplay. But what do you guys think? What is the most interesting part? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.